Hello everyone. So in this video, I'll cover the primary spaces related to the lower jaw. So there are only three: the submental, the sublingual, and the submandibular. So first, we'll talk about the submental space. So the space between the anterior belly of digastric and the mylohyoid muscle and the investing layer forms the submental space. That is, laterally we got the anterior digastric, superiorly we got the mylohyoid, and inferiorly we got the investing layer, platysma, superficial fascia, and skin. So this space forms the submental space. So the teeth commonly involved are the 6 anterior teeth of the lower jaw, and the extraoral findings include a firm swelling in the midline beneath the chin. So for the incision, we give a transverse incision below the lower border of the mandible. So this space is the submental space. So the next space we are going to talk about is the submandibular space. Different books give different boundaries, but the main gist is that it is the space between the anterior belly of digastric and the posterior belly of digastric inferior to the mylohyoid muscle. So the boundaries that I follow are that it is bounded superiorly by the mylohyoid muscle and inferiorly by the investing layer, platysma, superficial fascia, and skin. So this is the skin, and the space between mylohyoid muscle and skin is the submandibular space. So that was superior, skin was inferior. Laterally, we got the medial surface of mandible, and medially, we got the anterior belly of digastric muscle. So this space is the submandibular space. Now it is infected because of the involvement or spread of infection from the mandibular molars. Clinical features include swelling in this region, and to establish a drainage, we give an incision of 1.5 to 2 cm in length, 2 cm below the lower border of mandible along the skin creases. We pierce the skin platysma investing layer below the mylohyoid. That is, we do not pierce the mylohyoid. So this was about the submandibular space. Okay, so now coming on to the sublingual space. Before that, I would like to talk about the architecture of the muscles. We got the mylohyoid, genioid, from the genial tubercle to the hyoid bone. We got the hyoid bone, and in this segment, we got the tongue. We got the hyoglossus that would join the hyoid bone. We got the floor of the mouth, and this muscle is genioglossus that would attach the genial tubercle. Okay, so it is like this. We got the tongue, hyoglossus, floor of the mouth, genioglossus, and in between you got the geniohyoid. So basically, sublingual space is the space between the floor of the mouth and the mylohyoid muscle. So if we remove the hyoglossus, the space between the floor of the mouth and the mylohyoid muscle forms the sublingual space. So the boundaries include: superiorly we got the floor of the mouth, inferiorly we got the mylohyoid muscle, laterally we got the medial surface of mandible above the mylohyoid muscle, and medially we got the geniohyoid, genioglossus muscle, and the hyoglossus muscle. So this is the sublingual space. Teeth commonly involved are all basically incisors, canine premolars, molars. So the clinical features include swelling on the floor of the mouth that raises the tongue and the floor of the mouth. And for the incision, we give an incision close to the lingual cortical plate. Now this is the intraoral incision. We can also give an extraoral incision, that is 2 centimeter below the lower border of the mandible, just like in the submandibular space, but in this we would pierce the mylohyoid muscle to reach the sublingual space.